Welcome to this special edition, I guess, of The Wolf and the Shepherd. We're going to talk a little bit about Christmas. And we were sitting in the studio doing some of our final little edits for some upcoming episodes and everything. Just about finished that, at least how much we're going to do today, because I think we're pretty much done working, right? I mean, we put in a good 30 minutes or so and getting a little tired. So figured we'd just open up the mics and kind of talk a little bit about Christmas this year.
Yeah, and as a world first, we're actually recording this on various platforms.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's been kind of complicated. So we have our video going, and we also have the Wisdom app going. We have our board running. I mean, we could have, I guess, clicked the YouTube Live and Facebook Live and just seen how many different platforms we could put this on, but now we're both distracted by the little light on my phone.
Yeah,
that's
the flashy thing.
Yeah, that's bouncing back and forth from the Wisdom app.
Well, the biggest problem was finding a working cord for the iPhone. There's like two left at home which work.
I know.
Now out of 30.
I'm honestly surprised that cord is still surviving as much stuff as we plug into it.
It's not the same one. I keep bringing in different ones when they stop working.
Oh, I thought that was the same one.
No, this is like about literally like the 20th this year I've bought in.
Well,
now, I did notice actually on the Wisdom app that before you do a talk, before you go live, you can tag various kind of genres to see if your kind of talk fits in that. And you did mention that there was one on marriage counseling or relationship counseling.
No, marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling.
Right.
Well, I think you should have actually hit that one, because if anybody's got good advice for couples at Christmas, it's going to be us.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Because if there's one thing we haven't failed to do across the year and 3 months of podcasting, and that's giving, top-notch advice to married couples and people in relationships.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, let's be honest, there's nobody listening to this on the Wisdom app right now, as far as I can tell. I think our first one got quite a few people on there.
Yeah.
But I just muted myself on it.
Well,
I fixed that. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So let's try to just ignore that. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see the little number if anybody even pops up in there.
Just leave it going, mate.
Okay.
Just leave it going.
Should I just turn it upside down so we'll stop?
Well, no, because then you're not going to see any notifications or anything.
Well, then I'm going to sit there and stare at it.
Well, that's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. So, are you going to be watching anything on TV at Christmas? Because I remember growing up, especially when I was a kid, I used to look forward to watching some of the Christmas TV shows coming on.
Like the animated shows like Charlie Brown Christmas?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Grinch.
But yeah, just various Christmas things. But now they're a bit overproduced. It's like everything's High School Musical.
Right. Well, so we always watch Christmas Vacation. I mean, that's an annual staple. You have to do that, right? So probably tonight or tomorrow night, the wife and I will watch The Ref, an old Dennis Leary movie, had Kevin Spacey in it. Funny movie. He's a, what do you call it, a burglar or whatever, and holes up in this house with this married couple that are fighting, which kind of goes back to the whole marriage counseling thing. Didn't even think about that. And Dennis Leary actually plays the part of the marriage counselor or whatever, because the family's coming over. And I mean, one of the most beautiful lines I've ever heard in a comedy is Kevin Spacey's character, and he's telling his mother, because his mother has all this money and, takes care of the family and gave him a loan and all this stuff. And she feels so unappreciated, right? And so in the movie, he looks at her and he says, "You know what I'm going to get you next year for Christmas, Mom? I'm going to get you a big wooden cross. So next time you're unappreciated, you can crawl up there and nail yourself to it." And I mean, it's just the delivery of Spacey and everything. Of course, this is long before the, what's going on with Kevin Spacey stuff, back when everybody loved him, right? And then he did his weirdo thing or whatever. Now nobody likes him. So, but that's our big Christmas movie, at least for, the wife and I. Now, the wife and I and the kids, we used to always watch Grinch, like the original animated, Dr. Seuss Grinch and Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah, I think my wife and I were going to be watching a Public Enemy Christmas on BET Plus.
Public Enemy Christmas?
A Public Enemy Christmas. The band Public Enemy?
Right,
yeah.
But I hadn't even heard about this show.
Yeah, well, it's generally celebratory. There's a little bit of anger in there, as you'd expect. Chuck D kind of can't smile for more than 5 seconds.
Well, you wouldn't expect him to. I mean,
No.
the name of his band is Public Enemy.
Yes.
It's not Public Nice Guy.
Santa gets called a punk bitch a couple of times, as you'd expect as well.
That's kind of mean to
keeps
Santa.
Christmas, all about the Christmas spirit. You know, I think there's one point they kind of loot and set fire to a Walmart. So it's it'd be a good, enjoyable experience.
Well, now, is this a new show or is this old?
I don't know.
But you've seen it before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it advertised.
I got you.
It was on one of those. I'd already fast forwarded through too many ads, so I had to actually sit and watch this one, and I was too lazy to get up. So yeah, I think I'm going to be watching that tonight. Public Enemy Christmas.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, that will be an interesting take on Christmas. We haven't really had a really good Christmas movie come out in a long time. I mean, what would you say is the last Christmas movie to come out that was actually really good?
To be honest, I really don't like Christmas movies very much. I mean, most of the Christmas movies which I give a second thought to were probably made like 30 years ago or longer. I don't think there really has been that many good ones. Bad Santa, those were two good movies. They're not really traditional Christmas movies, but yeah,
that was
Bad
Billy
Santa.
Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, those are entertaining.
What about the one? Did you see the one? I think it had Vince Vaughn in it, where it was like Fred Claus or something.
Is that like back in the 90s or something, or early
Probably,
2000s? Yeah.
But once again, we're talking about 20 years ago.
I've never actually seen that, but I do want to download it
I don't think I've seen it either.
illegally on BitTorrent when I get home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it's legal because you use all these VPNs and everything.
Yeah.
And, we do not have a VPN sponsor.
Yeah.
And I hear that on podcasts a lot. Hey, use like ExpressVPN or something like that. Maybe
Right.
we need to dig up a VPN sponsor.
We don't need NordVPN because I legally download all the account login information. So I use their service for free anyway. So we don't need them to sponsor us.
Yeah. But what if they did sponsor us? Then you wouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't use
Then
other
you
people's usernames and logins.
Yeah, so there we go. Solving problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I wish there were more good Christmas movies out because I do like that feeling of a Christmas movie, except it's hard to watch a Christmas movie outside of, Thanksgiving-ish, like a few days before there. And then past Christmas, you don't want to watch them anymore.
Yeah.
It's like Mariah Carey is basically good for one song and that's it. And so she gets all these plays for 1 month out of the year and then nobody cares about her for the other 11
if she's not wearing
months.
that sexy Miss Santa outfit, I'm not even bothered to watch one song, to be honest.
I don't think she can fit into that anymore.
Yeah, she's been eating during lockdown.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But here we are, actually, Christmas part 2. In lockdown,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, we thought, last year, Christmas with the whole pandemic and everything, that's going to be weird. But hey, by next year, this will all be done. Here we are, Christmas 2 in lockdown.
Well, we're generalizing a bit because we live in Texas. And
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't celebrate the lockdown here.
no,
we don't.
No, we didn't have one last year, but
No, that's true. We did have Snowmageddon, though.
We did have Snowmageddon early
So-
on in the year, which
Actually, one way to think about Snowmageddon was that must be how everybody else lives. Because remember, there was nobody out on the streets. Everybody was at home and all that good stuff. Maybe that's what it's like in every other state with the lockdown.
yeah,
It's
but
what
they can
Snowmageddon
drive.
was.
Yeah, but most people in states where they get a lot of snow can actually drive, whereas people in Texas, when it snows, there's like about a dozen people who can drive, and like 2 of those are ex-vets, and the other 10 are from out of state.
Yeah. But my point being, yes, nobody knows how to drive down here in the snow or the ice
Or the rain,
or the rain
or when it's too hot.
or on a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes, we're terrible drivers down here. Somehow I missed that one. I don't know how. I'm the only one in my family that hadn't wrecked a car.
Well, statistically,
Knock on wood.
Is this Formica or actual wood?
Well, it's particle board underneath this.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife the other day, she did a combination of those type of things. She goes, fingers crossed, didn't cross her fingers, and she was knocking like you'd knock on wood, but was knocking on something completely different. So that was the trifecta of like probably drawing in a hex or a curse, because you can't mess
She might as well have reached in her purse and grabbed a mirror and shattered it against the wall
done it right there.
While she's walking under a ladder and petting a black cat.
Right.
I mean, that like you say. But no, this is actually wood. But it is, it's got a veneer cover on it. So,
well, you should know because you get a lot of wood in your job, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You do.
My job is all about
getting wood and giving it to other people in different states.
Procuring wood and making sure that wood looks nice and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
on that note, how is the Gizlane Maxwell trial going?
I think they're done.
Are they finished now?
Well,
because she's going to be locked up for Christmas or something. That was the big thing.
Well, the arguments or whatever's done, they rested the case. Last I looked, the jury's still deliberating, so we don't have a verdict as far as I know. Right. But the whole arguments and all that, that's already done. And it actually went, from what I understand, fairly quickly. Like they expected the trial to last a lot longer.
Right.
And it's already done now. And so the jury's trying to figure it out. Now, what are they trying to figure out?
I think about how much her involvement was in procuring young ladies for Jeffrey to share with his friends who were yet to be named.
I was just noticing, in the other room, one of the guys that comes on our podcast quite a bit is actually in town for a couple of days and everything. He's actually about to go back out of town, but even though he knows we're recording in here, he decided this would be a grand time to get on his phone and put it on speakerphone and yell at it towards our studio.
Well, this is one of the things. You know how technology passes some people by, right? Well, I think magnification of voice has actually passed him by because he still talks like he's speaking into one of those yogurt cups attached by string. Yeah. Or when you go to the playground and it has those kind of little open microphone type things and that big pipe to the other side of the climbing frame. Well, he speaks into his phone like the kids yelling that.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. I do the exact same thing. I feel like the farther away you are, the louder I have to yell into my phone, even though I know it's going to come through nice and clean and everything on the other side. I still do that. I still yell at the phone. But what I don't do is put it on speakerphone and literally lay it right in front of me. I mean, we have a window here in the studio, and you can't see it on the video or whatever, but right behind me is a window so we can see out, when we have guests come in and things like that. And so Pat is, held up at a little desk out there because he was stopping by checking on stuff for his podcast and everything, and is literally sitting at the desk with his phone, right here in front of him, and he's staring at it, yelling at it, and he's got the volume on his phone turned all the way up. So don't know if y'all can hear that right now, but it's kind of funny. So if you see me just kind of turn around and look, or him kind of meander and look that way, that's what we're doing. We're looking through our window.
Well, you've kind of overplayed the significance of the window because, for one, you've got your back to it, so you never see crap out of it anyway. Yeah. And number two,
it distracts you a lot more than it distracts me.
And two, the most interesting thing we see out there is Pat going and grabbing a bag of chips and eating them.
No, that's true.
It's like the most useless window.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess during the podcast, it's pretty useless. It's when we're in the studio and we're getting ready to go and everything, and then we have the guests come in, and there's a reception area and a receptionist that they go back through and check in and do all that stuff, and then a green room, waiting area, all that. But then when they come down the hall, and we can kind of see them through this window.
Is she a receptionist? I thought she was just there to watch YouTube and TikTok.
I'm pretty sure that's what a receptionist is now.
And eat sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, she does make herself a cup of tea in the afternoon.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
So we won't run to the gas station to buy a green tea for her.
Right. But that's when she wants the iced tea. She makes the hot tea with the little Keurig thingy in the back.
Now, get back to Christmas. Last year, you didn't get crap, did you? Didn't get any gifts at all? No. So you expected?
I think we went over that last year, didn't we?
Yeah. Were you pretty much getting the same this year? Or?
Probably, if it was possible, I'll probably get less.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be wrapped this year? Or?
No. Actually, technically, I have gotten less because for some reason, I've had to buy more stuff this year for other people. That I have to give to somebody else as their present. It'd be like you calling me up and saying, hey, I want to get something for Eric for Christmas. I'd say, hey, sounds like a plan. We need to get something for...
It's the most unlikely story ever.
Exactly. Well, I'm trying to use, a maybe situation, right? So then you say, hey, will you order this for Eric on Amazon and have it delivered to your house and then take it to Eric?
Oh, so have you been paying for all your wife's mate's shipping and stuff?
Pretty
much.
Yeah. And my parents who have Amazon Prime and all of that. So yeah, we're collecting presents somehow at our house for other people. So it's person A is buying for person C, but we're person B actually handling the transaction. So all the packages are coming to our house, and my wife's been out, taking them over here, taking them over there, wrapping them, all this. Like, how did that start?
Well, let's be honest. Somebody has to fund Jeff Bezos' second-rate space program, so you may as well throw your few dollars in there.
Here's something that Elon Musk should consider.
Growing hair.
No.
He'd look less evil.
No, he has.
Because Elon Musk, he looks nice and friendly because he's got hair.
Yeah, but
Jeff Bezos.
You're saying Jeff Bezos should grow hair.
Some hair.
Yeah. Did you know that? Elon Musk was named Time Man of the Year. Do you know that he cut his own hair for the picture for the cover?
He looks like a guy who would cut his own hair.
Yeah, no, he cut his own hair. But what Elon should do is buy Amazon.
He should what? Why would he want to buy Amazon?
Why not?
What's he going to do with Amazon?
I don't know. Maybe just shut it down. I mean, why not, right? He's got the money.
Right, yeah.
So now all of a sudden he can take all of this stuff from the little rocket ship piece, right, and just put those assets into SpaceX.
Yeah.
And then all those Amazon trucks, he can take the engines out and put batteries in them and make them Teslas. And then all the packages and everything, he can just, sell those on eBay.
I think it'd just be better off putting a couple of $1,000 in Ethereum or something, to be honest.
No, he's a Dogecoin guy.
But the problem is, though, if Amazon closes down, that means your ass is going to get sent to the store twice as often.
Oh, that is a good point.
You've got to think of
Elon, don't buy Amazon.
You've got to think of all the guys out there who rely pretty much 100% on Amazon to get any type of gift whatsoever. If you shut that down, it's going to mean a return to awkward trips to the mall and that type of crap.
Oh, God, I couldn't imagine even going to the mall. But I got to admit, Amazon does do a lot of stuff well. On Sunday, that's a key part of this story. I'm playing video games, and my controller batteries go dead. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go and I walk over to the little battery drawer, and I open the battery drawer up. No AA batteries. I'm like, what? I just bought some off Amazon. I buy the big packs of them. And so I hollered at one of my boys, and I said, where did all the batteries go? Well, they had taken each 2 of the 4 packs of AA batteries and had them in their rooms. So if their controllers run out of batteries, they don't have to go all the way back downstairs to the battery drawer and get batteries. So they brought them to me, and I said, well, how many do you have left? And, my youngest son said, well, this is my last package. So on a Sunday, it was 1 o'clock. I ordered AA batteries on Amazon. My doorbell rang at 5:05 with 100 AA batteries.
Well,
I love Amazon.
Well, yeah, but to be honest, they're not very good at letting their workers take a piss on the production line. So I don't think Sunday is really a big issue for them.
Well, yeah, but I'm happy that they do that. So I have batteries for my Xbox remote on Sunday afternoon, because I'd rather them, not take a piss while they're putting packages together than me not be able to play video games on Sunday. It's priorities.
Right. For those of you who have joined us late and are maybe facing a hard financial time this Christmas because of job insecurity due to lockdowns and closes during the year and inflation, the shepherd's just talking about hoarding spare batteries for one of his 4 Xboxes in the house.
Now, hang on. What do you mean if you just joined us late? It's a podcast.
Well, some people
We're not on the radio.
Some people fast forward.
Oh.
To the interesting bits.
Can you actually fast forward?
Well, you can on YouTube.
Podcast? Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course you can. You can go on Apple or whatever, you can fast forward through it.
Oh,
I fast forward through advertising all the time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No wonder I waste so much time. If I knew there was a fast forward button, I'd probably save a lot more time, which would allow me to play more video games.
That is true.
Yes. Why didn't you tell me about this a long time ago?
Well, there's a limited number of skips on some apps, and that's where I end up getting screwed. It's the same thing on those free music services. Like Pandora. I don't subscribe to Pandora, right? But for some reason, my son prefers that over Spotify.
It's probably the color. The
color.
Background color. In Pandora, like a blue,
well, you don't
and
know. Your
Spotify's a green.
Well, you're colorblind. How would you know?
I don't know. That's why I'm saying.
One's a kind of deeper grey than the other one.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
To me.
I don't think it's that. But anyway, he makes the mistake of kind of skipping songs, which he's kind of okay-ish with, but not his favourites. But after about 4 skips, obviously you can't skip anymore for about 30 minutes. You have to listen to commercials every song or every other song on Pandora if you're not subscribing. So he peaks too early, skips, and then has to sit and listen to like 30 minutes of music with like about 15 ads and like half the songs he doesn't like. So you've got to show some real discipline on that skip finger.
Okay, so why don't you get him Spotify? I thought you had Spotify.
I do have Spotify. I'm not letting him near my Spotify account, just like I don't let him near my Apple account or my Xbox account, because I'll be like $10,000 in debt before sundown.
Well, it's like my parents in Amazon, when they first got their Amazon Prime account, they didn't realize that when all those movies popped up on the TV, that every time they were clicking on them, they were paying for them. And so the first month that they had Amazon Prime, they get a nice bill for like $400. And my dad calls me, he's like, Amazon charged me for all these movies. Well, my mom was just sitting there clicking on movies, and my dad was sitting there clicking on movies. So literally, I, as their child, had to put parental controls on their Amazon account so they can't spend money.
Well, I told you my son spent $292 over a weekend on songs on iTunes, right?
Right.
And this was like, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. And the choice of music I got, which obviously is on my account, so it got added to my library. So I think I ended up with 3 Justin Bieber albums, not necessarily the best tracks off each album, either of them, being honest.
There's no such thing.
And I got Miley Cyrus. I think he bought like 3 remixes of Party in the USA. What else did he get? Oh, quite a lot of Katy Perry, which I wasn't against.
Yeah, but there were no pictures.
There weren't any pictures, so yeah. But yeah, he spent $292, and some songs he just bought multiple versions of, but there were some remixes in there as well. So now I haven't deleted them.
Well, you paid for them. You might as well keep them.
Well, yeah, because otherwise he's just going to search for them and just find some other way to put them on there. So,
But see, if you do the Spotify thing, you can have his own login, just like we have the family Spotify plan, so nobody can mess with my playlist, my likes, and everything, and I don't mess with theirs.
That won't be good enough for him.
He'll
want to mess with mine. He knows that on everything we have, like Netflix or Sling or whatever, there's multiple accounts, right? Different packages and different shows.
Yeah.
All this. No,
he just wants to mess with yours.
He likes messing about with everybody else's as well. Like everybody must have Rabbids Invasion and the Octonauts as like their top 2 go-to shows.
So basically what you're telling me is he's eventually going to be either a publicist or a social media marketer. It's like, this is what I like, so you have to like it too. And if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you.
That seemed to be the whole political view from certain people last year. So I'm trying to steer them away from that level of thinking.
I know, but you know what?
You're allowed to have a difference of opinion, son. It's okay.
No, I don't think so anymore. I think it's like we have this one collective opinion now, and everybody has to follow that collective opinion. And if you don't follow that collective opinion, you're a bad guy.
Well, I think the conspiracy theorists always threw up this kind of, certain people are trying to cancel Christmas, blah, blah, blah. But if there was anybody who was trying to cancel Christmas, COVID's been pretty convenient in terms of like, no Christmas parties, can't go to the store. It's not essential for you to go and buy.
Yeah, COVID tried, but you've got too much of the big machine back there that's going to let Christmas get canceled. I mean, you got Hallmark, right? And they basically make movies centered around Christmas, and they sell all their Christmas cards, and they do all that. So you got the Hallmark lobby. They're not going to allow Christmas to go away. Then you've got all of the grocery stores that are going to sell the turkeys. You got the turkey farmer, the ham farmers, all those guys. They're sitting out there. They're going to try to sell all their wares. Then what about all the Santa Claus impersonators? I mean, they're unemployed now. So that's like what, probably 2% of the population is Santa Claus impersonators. So now 2% of the population, they lose their jobs. Don't forget about all the midgets that only get to work at the end of the year because they get to be elves.
Right.
So that's probably another 2%. I mean, it would be devastating to the United States economy to cancel Christmas.
Do you think like midgets get more work now because of all these like cartoon things? You know, like the Comic Con and all that stuff. You know, they get a chance to like go dress up as whatever.
What, Peter Dinklage?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there's more than him, and I don't think he needs the work. To be honest, he can probably.
Well, no,
retire.
I'm saying everybody is trying to dress like Peter Dinklage.
Well,
what was him in the Game of Thrones? What was his character's name?
Tyron, whatever his name is, I think.
Tyron the midget?
No, he didn't. He didn't actually have that kind of like disclaimer at the end of his name.
He should have.
Yeah.
I mean, that would
Well,
have
just
been...
in case you couldn't see that. Somebody watching it on an old 4x3 format TV.
I mean,
right?
yeah. Or maybe if you don't have glasses on and you just can't tell the difference.
I'll tell you what, though, because you know TVs now, like the ultra high definition ones, they're like super widescreen. Well, about 10, 15 years ago, when a certain proportion of the population ended up having, you know, like wide screens, flat screens, they changed the way they would film simply because, you know, when you stretch an image, it's going to make people look fatter, right? So they had to change the way. Now on the super like UHD stuff, they're going to have to start refilming it, because I watched a movie the other day and everybody looked like a fat bastard, to be honest.
You mean you watched an old movie on the new
and
TV?
it like stretched it out. Yeah, they all look like Oompa Loompas or something.
Yeah, but you also have all those different settings too. I mean, I don't think even the new TVs in the 16:9 is really the cinema format, because I still get like little black stripes on the top and the bottom, and then on some movies I still get like a big black stripe on the top and the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know what it is to fill the whole screen, what that ratio is.
I don't know. Well, 16:9, I think.
Well, yeah, but like you say, you still got that letterbox thing.
Well, yeah, but then if you fill the whole screen, now you're seeing, you know, the people getting fat or people getting skinny or whatever, trying to zoom that picture in.
People get cut off at the edges as well.
Yeah. Well, there was a big thing about Seinfeld coming to Netflix, and some of the jokes got cut out of there because it was the way it was filmed. And if you'd never seen the show before, you didn't know what was actually going on because of the part of the screen or the camera that the actual joke was on, right? And one of them was when George loses his keys in the street, and the street crew comes by and fills the pothole where he dropped his keys. When you watch it on Netflix now, you can't actually see the pothole there. They're just like looking down and they're not looking at anything. So it's kind of confusing. Right. And I think The Simpsons went through that too. There were like jokes in The Simpsons that got cut out because of the trimming of making it 16:9. There was one, I think the beer they drink, like, was it Duff?
Yeah.
I think. And it was like Duff Light, and Duff something else or whatever. It's probably Duff Dry. Remember when, you know, everybody had like a dry beer like back in the 90s? But the joke was that all the beer was all the same and they were just filling one hose into 3 deals, but it got cut off, and so you didn't get the joke. So, yeah, the whole switching from 4:3 to 16:9, I was for it. I like 16:9 a lot better, but it's hurt some of the older stuff.
Yeah. Now, if you had your choice and you had a loving, supporting family who were going to buy you gifts, what would you actually like for Christmas, do you think?
Man.
Both in terms of knowing what you were getting and surprises.
Well, wait.
Well, I mean, they're both theoretical because you're not getting anything. So,
so are we talking like sky's the limit, or are we talking about what could generally be expected?
Well, you're not getting a Tesla, so yeah, not the sky's the limit, no.
No, I wouldn't go for a Tesla. I'd go for a DeLorean.
I'd say like Target is the limit type thing.
Okay,
as
yeah.
in the store.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to go down somewhere in town, go to an actual store, go buy me something.
Yeah, you can have whatever you want from Target. Let's keep it in that price range.
I'd probably want like
some good customer service. That's something you can't get at Target.
No, you're not going to get that there.
So,
I'd probably want like 6 or 7 bags of Traeger pellets, like all the different flavors of Traeger pellets. Because I'm so cheap, I just buy one and I use it for everything. It'd be kind of cool to have like all the different woods from Traeger, and then when I smoke something specific, I can say I'm going to use pecan wood for this, and then pour the pecan wood in there.
Well, that's going to be a boring ass gift to put under the Christmas tree, isn't it?
No.
That's going to be fun for the rest of the family. Watch you unwrap wood pellets.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I know, but you may as well buy some on the way home. I was talking about Christmas, nice Christmas gifts. You open it and be like, oh, that'd be nice. Not like, oh, some wood pellets.
I literally would say, oh, that's nice. At least I got something.
I'd see why they stop buying your stuff, I'll be honest. What else do you want other than wood pellets? Come on. Some beef jerky?
Ooh, beef jerky.
Yeah,
nice.
beef jerky be good. Yeah.
No, but specific beef jerky, though, from a place in Castroville, Texas called Jukes. It's spelled with a D. It's I can't remember the ethnicity of the people. It's, somewhere like Eastern European, that came over to Texas or whatever. And they had this meat market there. And the beef jerky from Jukes in Castroville, Texas is amazing.
Well, your wife's not bringing you back any beef jerky from CVS. I don't think she's going to Jukes, is she?
But you can order it online.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah. She could.
If anybody cared, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
yeah.
But she doesn't care.
So some beef jerky and some wood pellets. What other exciting things you got?
If I got beef jerky and wood pellets for Christmas, I'd be a merry little elf.
Oh, that's pretty good.
What about you? Wait, what'd you ask Santa Claus for Christmas?
Well, I got all my Christmas gifts during the year, actually, because I got the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because that was for last Christmas.
That is true. It was for last Christmas.
So you can't count the Xbox.
All right. Well, I got a new gaming chair, really nice gaming chair. And it's one of those which is, kind of raised like a normal office chair, but super comfortable, leans in all directions and all that. Because I'll tell you what, once you get to a certain age, getting up and down from the floor on those gaming chairs is a bit much.
No, that makes total sense. Yeah. I sit on my beat up couch to play games. So.
And what else did I get? I got a new 4K TV for the Xbox, specifically for the Xbox Series
X. But that's the one you put in the bedroom, though, right?
No, because you still upstairs. No, we've got an Xbox in the bedroom, then we've got the Xbox in the living room, then we've got the Xbox Series X upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And then the PlayStation 4 is downstairs, and then there's an Xbox.
But you still have the old Xbox hooked up to the huge TV.
Xbox One, yeah, and the PlayStation 4.
No. But you're not really playing games on that TV.
No, that's just for my son, really.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. He's got a variety of gifts, as usual. He's got more than everybody else combined. I actually got him something on the way here today as well.
Yeah. What?
A Superman figure.
Like an action figure?
Yeah.
Kids actually want action figures still?
No, he probably don't want it. I just thought he wanted something Superman because he's been going on about it this last week. He keeps doing all the Superman thing and like trying to fly off the couch. So thankfully back onto the couch, not onto the floor, because that'd be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in your living room before. He's probably going from, because you have that big, huge sectional thing. That's the 90 degrees. So is he going from one to the other, like trying to jump across and see how far he can make it and not land on the coffee table?
Yeah, and when my wife, his stepmom, isn't around, he stands on that bit, where the back door is, that kind of like ledge thing. He stands on that and dives over the top of the couch and lands on the other sectional part.
I know that she listens, and I don't want to let out too many secrets, but be honest with me. You do the same thing when she's not there, right?
No, I do it when she is there.
Oh, okay. She knows. So she already knows you're jumping.
She knows
around.
It's a waste of time telling me to not do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to ruin your home life or anything, but I know when she's been gone and I've been over there, you do jump off that ledge and land on the couch.
Well, my argument is if the dog does it, why shouldn't I? Because the dog gets treats as well, and the dog's not even well behaved.
Did you teach the dog how to do that?
No.
The dog taught you?
No. I copied the dog.
So the dog taught you how to do it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's exactly what that is. You got the idea from the dog.
No.
Yes.
No, I copied the dog. It's not like I haven't jumped on a couch before.
Well, yeah, but do you dress up in like red pajamas when you do it?
I'm not
so
a fan.
you look
I'm
like
not a
the
fan
dog?
of Superman, to be honest with you. I've
Well,
never really got the point of him.
Superman wore blue pajamas, not red pajamas.
I mentioned. Well, again, you're colourblind, so it don't really matter, does it? You might as well be in yellow and turquoise.
Yeah, but you told me the dog is red.
No, dog's ginger.
Isn't that red?
Not this colour ginger. No, this is. You say redhead for people who you're trying to be kind to, and they're a little bit ginger, but you can also see a hint of reddish brown in there, and so you call those kind of like redheads or whatever. But no, this dog is just straight out ginger, a soulless coloured ginger.
So that's why it's living so long, because it has no soul.
Yeah, basically, we're waiting for it to get possessed and kind of go from there.
Oh, that might be convenient.
Yeah.
It might make a good YouTube video. So when, it's obviously not if, it's when the Vizsla goes away, are you replacing the dog? Are you getting another dog?
Yeah, I'd like to get another couple of dogs like about a week after, but
because
my wife's not happy about
yeah,
that
but you
idea.
know that Mia doesn't have that much longer left.
No, every 3 months she kind of goes through about a week or two where she's walking halfway across the Rainbow Bridge, then kind of changes her mind and walks back again.
Gotcha.
And we kind of prepare ourselves. All right, Mia's about to die.
Right, this is it. Here it comes.
Let's go dig a hole in the backyard, whatever.
Yeah, and so you're mid-hole digging, and kind of like Bill Vaughn, right?
Yeah, so I just fill her up full of treats, like, you know, all the unhealthy stuff, you know, give her half a bar of chocolate, let her eat some Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
And she makes a miraculous recovery again, and then it's another 3 months before she...
What if you're secretly a veterinarian?
You mean an accidental veterinarian?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm accidentally keeping her alive by giving her junk food.
But you're not writing all this stuff down and figuring out how you're keeping this old dog alive. But this is like huge research. Like you could be a professor at Texas A&M vet school and explain how to keep dogs alive.
Yeah, but also...
Go out in the backyard, dig half a hole, give them half a bar of chocolate, Greek yogurt, buys them 3 months.
But I also think some of it, if I write it down, the ASPCA are going to haul me up in court on some charges. So,
how would they do that if you're keeping the dog alive?
Well, they'll say I'm keeping it alive by cruel means. I mean, just like if you make a Frankenstein dog, right?
Okay.
And you remember in like the Frankenstein movie, there wasn't a plethora of dead bodies for him to construct.
True.
The person, he had to go out and knock a few people off. Well, it's going to obviously be the same thing with the dog, right?
Yeah, but he got picky.
He did get picky. That's where he fell down.
Right.
Because let's be honest, it wasn't a pretty monster at the end of it. He could have been less fussy. He probably could have covered his tracks a lot more.
Well, that's probably
well,
true.
I figure like if I make a Frankenstein's dog, right? I can find, you know, it's Texas. I can find a few dead dogs by the side of the road.
You're going to see 2 dead dogs on the way from the studio to your house.
Yeah, I mean, I saw one from the local 7-Eleven. That could have been a coyote there, I don't know. Oh. But anyway, so I'm figuring like I'm going to have to get a few other dogs who are currently living but maybe not happy, and I can use those parts along with some dead dog parts and make a Frankenstein's monster type dog.
Okay, so that's where I think you'd get in trouble with the ASPCA.
Well, I don't think they cover bits of dogs, just...
Yeah, but bits of alive dogs, I'm pretty sure they'd frown upon that.
Well, I'm not going to admit to that, am I?
Oh.
I'll just say I found it.
Right.
Without a head.
Yeah, keep that a secret.
Yeah.
So if you were going to put together a dog, like, it, you know,
made out of bits of dog.
Yeah,
right
Mia
now.
may her rest in peace eventually. You're going to put together your new family dog. How do you put that dog together?
Well, I think I'm going to skip the traditional approach of 4 legs and probably add some more in there.
Add legs?
Yeah, I'm going to add legs. Well, as opposed to taking them away, because they don't seem to do too good when they only have 2.
But you could teach them how to walk on 2 legs.
Well, I could, but again, I'm going to limit.
Then you could sew like baby arms.
Yeah, I think I think the animal cruelty people are going to be a little bit.
See, that's why you're the secret veterinarian. You think through these things. I don't think that far through.
Well, I think I'd like maybe about 6 really small legs, but on a larger dog body, I think.
Like a Labrador dog?
No, like a Labrador, but have like maybe 6 legs from like, I don't know, like a poodle, small poodle, toy poodle on it or something.
So you want to genetically engineer a corgi?
No.
That already exists.
No. Corgi doesn't have 6 legs, and it's not as big as a Labrador, is it? That's a completely different...
Well, first of all, yes, you're correct. It doesn't have 6 legs.
We're not just naming dogs we've heard of.
Well, yeah, but the Corgi has that big body and the little short legs.
Well, it doesn't have big
why
body.
does the Queen like corgis?
I don't know. It's
come on
stupid
now.
tradition. There's she has like a lot of them. I think she keeps them up in that castle in Balmoral in Edinburgh or something. Or she has some there because they don't travel, and there's just some who live there waiting for her to visit.
So
they don't see it for the rest of the year. They're the
Queen
food through the window.
But the Queen has so many properties that she has different dogs at each one. And the dogs just sit there and hang out waiting for the Queen to show back up.
That might not be true, but the Queen is also very old and might die before she gets a chance to challenge me legally. So I'm going to go with that and say I think that's what happens.
Fair enough.
It might not be true.
Okay, let's go on the record on something. Who lives longer, Betty White or Queen Elizabeth?
Ooh, let's see. Well...
just for reference... Queen Elizabeth is a little bit younger than Betty White. Betty White is about to celebrate her 100th birthday in January.
Well, Betty White also seems pretty happy, though. She's led mostly a happy life. I don't think the Queen's been very happy for about 30 years.
Why? Why would you not be happy if you're the queen of a country that you really don't have to govern and all you do is walk around and pet corgis?
All right. Well, one of her grandsons, the ginger one, Prince Harry... He's a complete twat, so she's had to put up with him. The one who ran over here and married that Meghan Markle person.
Gotcha.
And then they got all fed up with the limelight, or i.e. they couldn't get enough advertising work in England, so moved to America.
Well, they got fed up with the limelight and wanted to have a quieter life, so they ran over to the United States and started a podcast and a TV show.
And immediately signed a deal with Netflix.
Right.
Yeah. And every time, one of them kind of steps out, they make sure somebody's taking a photo.
Exactly.
And
then go on Oprah.
Yeah.
Don't forget about
Tell
Oprah.
a bunch of lies on
Yes.
Oprah.
No.
So I don't think the Queen's been happy about that. Obviously, when Prince Charles, after Diana died, ended up going public with that woman he had the affair with, old horseface Camilla.
Sarah Jessica Parker?
No, think of an older version of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Well, when you say
the
horseface, I think Sarah Jessica Parker.
Do I. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everybody does.
So Prince Charles, though, did not have an affair with Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, I think her name was Camilla Parker Bowles, as you'd expect from a very posh lady.
Yes. Why do all posh people have 3 names?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, most peasants probably just don't even have a proper name, do it? It's just like, hey, you.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Hey, you and you.
Well, I do like...
Wouldn't you hate to be the and you guy? It's like, I can't even be the hey, you guy. I'm the and you guy. I'm that so far down the chain that's where I'm at.
Well, I remember actually, I think Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it might have been that movie where all the peasants are working in the field.
Yeah, they're digging in the mud.
And the guy rides by in the horse and he goes, oh, it's the king. He goes, how do you know he's the king? He goes, he's the only one not covered in shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, that makes sense. So, but back to why Queen Elizabeth is not in a good mood.
So she had that issue. Her son married a horse.
But let's be honest, it's not like Prince Charles was a looker.
Well, no, but when you've got a lot of money and you're a prince, I don't think what you look like really comes into it, does it?
Yeah, it's not a Disney movie.
Right.
I mean, it's British history.
Yeah.
Which is almost as contrived.
Right. And, there's not really been very many pretty royals in history anyway. You have to marry the pretty ones in to dilute the bloodline out. Right. Otherwise, they just end up looking like dodos.
But wasn't that one of the big deals with Princess Di, though? I mean, she was a commoner.
Well, she was the daughter of Lord Earl Spencer. So, no, she wasn't a commoner. She was the daughter of a lord.
Oh, well, that was the propaganda over in the U.S.
That's the equivalent of a commoner marrying into the royal family, as in she didn't have royal blood. Although she did kind of, but not.
But I thought you just said she was from Lord Von Tramp or whatever.
Right, that's his daughter.
Isn't that royal blood?
Well, a little bit, but a little bit more removed. Because the royal family are a little bit incestual in their bloodlines, in terms of they don't really go too far out. Because otherwise you might marry somebody who's not a reptile, so you have to take that into consideration.
Well, and then you have, what's her name that you don't like? The one you brought up earlier.
Oh, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, obviously she has no royal ties.
No.
I mean, she was an American.
Right.
And then Did she ever become a British citizen? Do you have to do that if you become
I don't
in
know.
the royal family?
I have no clue. I think this is the first time I can remember somebody's married a foreigner as well.
Yeah, but I thought that happened all the time in history.
Yeah.
I thought it was all about, I'm going to go marry this person in France so we can add land to our deal or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like marrying foreigners was a big deal, but the foreigners were probably aristocracy royalty.
But you can understand marrying a foreigner for lands and diplomatic advantage. Marrying somebody because they've got a C-list TV show, which she was crap in, doesn't seem to be the same trade-off as like owning half of France.
She was good in Deal and No Deal.
Well, she never seen that.
Yeah, I mean, she opened the suitcase.
Yeah.
She did a good job with that. So, I mean, of all the, chicks up there in the matching dresses opening suitcases, I thought she did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So don't falter for that.
Not completely useless then.
Okay, so we know Elizabeth is upset about that.
Yeah.
I mean, now, going along your lines, her husband did just pass away.
Yeah.
So
I'll add an extra few years to her life.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
he was a bit of a racist, moody twat, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. So with all that being said then, Elizabeth or Betty White?
Betty White.
Betty White.
She'll live because of joy.
Okay, Betty White lives longer than Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Want to bet a nickel on it?
Sure.
Okay. All right, we got to bet. One nickel.
Okay.
All right, because I'm taking Queen Elizabeth. And here's why. You said it earlier, and you rolled right over it. That's why I'm surprised you're taking Betty White, because Queen Elizabeth's probably one of those reptilian people. And they're going to live a lot longer because she's not really human.
What about if she's one of those reptiles who doesn't have a long shelf life?
But we've already proven that she does because she's like 90-something.
Well,
if she was one of the reptiles that had the short life, she'd already be gone.
Yeah, but I don't know whether that's because of she's half reptile or because she's been followed around since the age of 2 with somebody wiping her ass all the time.
No, that's true.
When you've never been kicked, kissed or run over, you can probably live quite long when somebody's preparing all your meals and,
What do you think you buy the Queen of England for Christmas? I mean, she's got kids, she's got grandkids. Like, what do you buy the Queen of England for Christmas?
Probably some Doritos, because I doubt she ever gets any of those.
That's probably true.
It's probably one of those things where it's
wood
just like
pellets.
Never gets.
I bet she'd like wood pellets.
Why? Do you think she's ever seen a
I bet she smokes briskets
barbecue
on
grill?
Christmas Eve. I can see her doing that.
I don't.
No, I'm pretty sure she does.
I don't know, because it's been like over 20 years since I've been back in England. I don't know if she still does that Queen's speech, because every Christmas she used to do a speech.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
People would tune in and you'd listen to be, "It's been a wonderful year for me and my family, and I just want to extend my well wishes to you and your friends for the new year ahead. There has been some..." And imagine another 30 minutes of that. Well, that's the Queen's speech. And even if you hated it, you watched it religiously anyway, just to hear what she had to say about the year.
So was it one of those deals where like all the TV stations basically had nothing else on? Kind of like when the president speaks, it's like all the major networks, they show his speech. So kind of the same thing over in England. It's like, time for the Queen's annual speech. And she says that.
Yeah. That's something they got in common, actually, the president's speeches and the Queen's speech. They're both bloody miserable.
Yeah, but you can understand the Queen.
That's true.
Yeah. You probably better than me.
Right. I can understand what she's saying, but I think there's this thing where posh people in England are so posh, and a lot of the time it's old money. You can understand when people get like new money or somebody becomes rich, and all they basically do is buy more expensive versions of things they already have, right? But their lifestyle doesn't really change other than having access to those things which cost more money, right? Because if you suddenly took away all those all those things they had before, they'd still pretty much live a same lifestyle. But like British aristocracy type rich, that type of money, those people have no clue how regular society lives. I mean, they don't know what it would cost, to go and buy 6 eggs or something. They're probably thinking, "Hey, it's £40. Will I have any change from that?" Be like, no, it's actually about £60 for 6 eggs, £10 each egg. Okay. You know, that type of stuff. I mean, they're so far removed from life that they just they wouldn't exist.
But the money goes back so long and so old that there's almost no way for them to go broke.
Yeah.
And I say almost because, yes, there would be if you're just being stupid ridiculous, right? But there's so much money, so much land, all that. It's virtually impossible for them to ever go broke.
Yeah, because I knew the son of a lord, actually, in East Anglia, where I lived. And he was 29 and he had never dialed a phone. Because whenever he wanted to call anybody, he always got his... always got the servants to ring, make the connection, and then they'd hand the phone to them. He'd never dialed a phone and he was 29 years old.
So how old were you when he was 29? About the same
30,
age?
31.
Okay, so close to his age.
Yeah.
Okay.
It never, it didn't matter. Cell phone, rotary phone, push button phone. He had never actually dialed a number on a phone before. So
did he ever watch you dial a phone and be fascinated with that?
No.
Oh. But he would say, hey, I need to call Tristan. Somebody would dial the phone and like if he ever called you, would they say, please hold for Lord Max? And then you'd have to wait until the phone was handed over?
No, I never used to talk to him on the phone.
Oh.
No, I used to just drive around and knock on his door.
So he didn't live in a castle?
No, but it did take me as long to get down his driveway as it did to drive from my house to his house.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
but so almost a castle.
But he was one of those people who went like pheasant hunting and stuff every other weekend. And although I don't agree with it, he was into that fox hunting.
So why is it that there are so many things that used to be aristocracy, right? And now it's looked at as peasant class. Hunting.
Right.
Okay, so honestly, let's go through some of them, right? Hunting. Hunting is one where it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of rednecks and everything that go hunting. And yeah, we don't ride on horses and dress in red coats and, have the hound dogs out doing that.
But in England,
over
it's
here.
still considered a very upper class type thing.
Right.
Regular people don't go hunting in England.
Really?
Maybe farmers might. But
they're doing it out of necessity because there's like coyote. Well, there's probably not coyotes over there, but there's something coming into their land that they're trying to get away from tearing up their crops.
But you also have to remember, England doesn't really have much that you'd hunt unless you're going to go out and shoot Nessie the cow. There's not really much to go out and hunt in England.
You only have one cow over there?
No, that's just one I know.
Oh, okay. But smoking.
What do you mean smoking?
Smoking used to be for the upper class.
Right, yeah.
And now it's only for the lower class.
Well, no.
For the most part.
Well, now I think that's actually been pushed down further because a lot of people who used to smoke now vape.
Yeah. That's true.
And so I think a lot of the middle classes moved to vaping over smoking, whereas the lower classes maintained the type of smoking thing.
Now I've got the...
Lisa Billington.
Wow, that's fun. I didn't know if that was going to happen or not.
That was his wife, who is probably somehow listening live to this, and we've shit on her a couple of times for not buying Christmas gifts.
Yeah. So the last one I'm going to hit you with, lobster.
Lobster.
Yeah, because way back in the day, lobster was given to prisoners as food. Now it's, to use your term, a posh food. It's a very expensive food. So it can go the other way around, too.
Yeah, it was posh when I still lived in England. I'd never had lobster when I lived in England.
Yeah, but used to, that was the junk food that they would feed prisoners and everything. Now it's the fancy thing. That's kind of amazing how things flip around like that.
Sometimes people in history got a better deal.
Hey, I just realized I had the wisdom thing on mute whenever the phone call came in.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad I actually looked down and caught that.
Right.
I don't know how much cool stuff we said in between that, but probably not that much.
Basically, wisdom listeners, you missed the shepherd's wife call in. We pooped on her a little bit more, and then we were talking about lobsters.
Yeah.
So,
and I think we're probably getting close to finishing this discussion up.
Yeah. So he can call his wife back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think I might be in trouble.
Yeah. So, everybody listening and watching, I hope you have an awesome Merry Christmas. Don't worry about Omicron. Don't take that as strict medical advice, though, because we did about 8 months ago suggest you use leeches to avoid the Delta variant. So
Yeah. I mean, I just wonder why they keep naming the variants after airlines and Transformers.
right.
I wish they would stop. They need to come up with some cool names,
Yeah.
like some scary names,
Yeah.
to really put the fear in. But anyway, hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed kind of hanging out with us on this. And we got some interesting episodes coming up, but we are done recording actually for the year. The content, of course, will be coming out, but we've actually finished up all our recording for the year, and that's what we were doing in here, trying to get everything ready for the releases next week and all that good stuff. So thanks, everybody. We appreciate it, and that will do it for this episode of The Wolf and the Shepherd, and we will catch you on the next one in the new year.